In the first instance, we see Matt at home, and he looks like he's in his natural environment, so we might guess that he feels rather neutral. And maybe even a little positive, since he's enjoying his spare time. So we move the keyframe up a little, above neutral towards positive. In the next instance, he is in a meeting, feeling bored and wants to be somewhere else. So the keyframe should slightly move towards negative. In the third instance, Matt is video chatting with his friend, and although he was optimistic in the beginning, further into the conversation, he starts feeling patronized by him. So we'll take the resonating emotion into account in this case and move the frame towards negative. In the fourth instance, he's about to land to Istanbul, and he's full of hopeful anticipation. So this is a positive moment for him. In the last instance of the first 5 frames, he faces with an inconvenient truth about how things really are, and he feels bad about it. So this frame moves down towards negative. Before moving on to the next 5 frames, let's make a record of this experience arc by drawing it on a sticky note and post it up. At the first instance of the consequences section, we see Matt in a guided walking tour with a bunch of other tourists. And he feels quite uncomfortable, so it is safe to say that this is a low point in his experience. In the next instance, he unsuccessfully tries to stray from the group, and this adds to his frustrations. So let's move this even lower than the previous, on the negative pole. In the third instance, they are having food that does not reflect any local quality, and this makes him upset. So these negative feelings move the frame down. In the fourth instance, Matt feels a little lost and unfulfilled. So it is not as bad as the previous frames, but still the experience is a negative one. For the last instance of the second 5 frames, we see Matt on the way back. He feels really disappointed. So this could be the lowest point of the overall experience. What we are looking at is a temporal map of how events unfold and how they impact the emotional state of the character over the course of the experience. This process opens up a whole new dimension to discuss about why and when users feel the way they do and what could be done about it. In the actual storyplay process, we do this exercise 2 more times to assess the sequence of instances with respect to a primary and a secondary value. A primary value is the emotional need that the team finds most relevant according to the intended experience. Similarly, a secondary value is the second most important emotional need that the team decides to assign to the main character. Storyplay supports the team by providing a list of emotional values to help them translate their intentions into meaningful values, which could inspire and inform design. During our studies, the most useful psychological needs that proved to be immediately applicable were autonomy, competency, relatedness, stimulation, popularity, and security. Ultimately, our goal is to have a discussion about the emotional impact of the experience with respect to the values at stake. With all the insights we gathered from the previous steps, now it is time to propose our alternative and see how things are going to change.